Today, I'm going to be explaining the take profit algorithm. So if you want to know the best place to take TP, then watch the whole of this video. When I'm referring to the take profit algorithm or the take profit algo, I'm actually referring to the best place to take profit, whether you're taking profit or whether you're taking partial profit. So what we were taught originally or traditionally was that when price moves 10 to 30 pips in profit, you should go ahead and take TP. So from where we just entered just now, I'm going to go ahead and mark up roughly about that amount of pips. So let's just go from 10 to 30 pips. So 10 to 30 pips is roughly about here. This is 30 pips. 30 pips takes you above this high, but that's as deep as that gets. There's no other reasoning behind it. It doesn't get deeper than that, guys. When price moves 10 to 30 pips, you have no reason not to take profit. And if it comes back on you, then you flopped. That was one of the ways I learned to take TP back in the day. If you find profitability with that, then go ahead. By all means, don't change this. The whole reasoning behind this video is just to explain to you guys the take profit algo. What it could do is it might get you changing the way you think about taking TP and why I'm so confident price is going to go to certain areas. The other way I learned to take TP was doing support and resistance. So let's go ahead and mark up some support and resistance levels. We've got support and resistance level right here. We've got another one right here. This is another support and resistance level. And then we got more on top. I don't have to drop all of them, but I'm just going to drop a few more of these support and resistance levels. And once again, with these support and resistance levels, you don't really know how wide to draw them. People have certain rules. You can draw at 10 pips, whatever it is. But basically, there's multiple areas. There's multiple zones. And if I went up to the higher time frame, let's say to a higher time frame than this, let's say 1 hour time frame, once again, you're going to see multiple zones again. So look at this from this level here. There, expand it all the way to the right, you can see multiple times once again prices traded and bounced off of these different levels here. Let's go back down to the 5-minute time frame. The whole idea behind this support and resistance levels and taking TP is that when you jump in, you get out at the next zone. And the reason being you get out at the next zone is because if buyers are in control now, then at this zone, you might get a rejection and then you're going to start believing that sellers are now in control. Folks who believe that there's buy pressure and sell pressure. That's what they believe. We know there's an algorithm behind the whole price movement. But anyway, guys, check it out. So from where we entered to this level, that's around 15 pips. That might not be enough pips for some folks. So they might say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and jump out at the next zone. This is our next zone here. Once again, if you found profitability with that, then go ahead and don't change a thing. Get your freak on with that. I'm not interested in that stuff. That's as deep as it gets. They believe in buying and selling pressure, and you get out at specific zones or specific areas because you believe that price may be turning around because, for example, in this scenario, sellers might be taking control of the markets. I know that was a big thing for me. I thought there was buyers were fighting against the sellers and I'm putting in more orders than you, you're putting in more orders than me, and it's just like a tug of war. Guys, ain't none of that happening. For every single buyer, there must be a seller. Just remember that. Explain to you guys my entry first, because I don't believe I've done that yet. And then I'm going to explain to you guys the whole TP. So first off, if I go to the weekly time frame, you can see right here, weekly time frame, you can see the order block over here. Price trades down right into the very open of the order block, which represents this line right here, weekly OB open. Now, when I go down to that 1-minute time frame, you're going to see price gets to this level. That's our weekly OB open. So I'm actually in from down here. But I'm getting you guys in with a trading view entry to explain the whole take profit algorithm. And then for those people who want to know about more entries, if you never caught it from down here, look, this is a down close candle. We trade above. We come back into it, mitigation, and then we take off. This could have been another entry. Hey folks, so I actually did the whole video, but I forgot to explain the actual current entry for you guys, which is this one over here. So I'm on a 5-minute time frame. You can see there's an imbalance here. And you guys are going to be thinking, oh, he randomly picked that imbalance. No, it wasn't a random imbalance. It was the fact that there was a 5-minute imbalance over here. There's a 5-minute imbalance right here. And the reason I'm looking at this imbalance is because if you look at all of this, there's no inefficiency here. So let's just move this out the way for a minute. You can see all these kind of sticks, there's no inefficiency here. And so this is the only inefficiency. Not only that, if I take my fib tool from the very lowest point to the highest point, you can see that this imbalance comes in at equilibrium. I'm always looking for an entry near about equilibrium or within a discount. You can see the only thing we had going here was this inefficiency, where there was no interaction between this kind of 6 wick and that one. That's the inefficiency, and this is why I caught my entry when price traded down into the imbalance. Now let's move on. The whole week price has been dropping, so we've been attacking that sell side liquidity. What have we done today? We've taken out the previous day's low, and so now we have to start thinking about the opposing liquidity. Where is the opposing money, the opposing liquidity? We've run that sell side, we have to look at the buy side. And so there's going to be buy side liquidity above this high, and there's going to be buy side liquidity above this high. So in other words, there's going to be buy stops up here and buy stops up here. So now you have to think about it like this. Whenever you are in a buy, you have to think about this. Where are there willing participants who want to continue my buy? Where are there willing participants who want to continue my buy? And if you're going to sell, it's where are there willing participants who want to continue my sell? That's what you have to be thinking about. But in this scenario, we are in a buy. If you want me to show you guys a sell scenario, then just let me know in the comments. So now I have to explain this to you guys. There's always two sides to every single trade. There is a buyer and there is a seller. So if I'm buying and I get to this point and I close off my position, I actually sell my position back. If I'm selling, and then it gets to a point where I want to close off my position, I actually buy my order back or buy my position back. I want you guys just to understand that and just stamp that in your brains. If I'm buying from wherever I'm buying from, down here, up here, I need to think about where are there willing participants or willing folks who want to continue my buy. Basically what I'm saying is who wants to buy at this certain price. So let's just go ahead and mark up some highs. Up here we have a set of buy stops. It's actually relatively equal highs, but I'm just going to mark it up as buy stops at the moment. There's also another set of buy stops up here. So that means there are people who want to buy my trade up here, to buy the trade I'm already in, and they also want to buy my trade up here. And then you're probably thinking, who wants to buy up there? Who wants to buy your trade when it gets there? Let's go ahead and jot down who are the willing participants who are looking to buy at these points. And this is in no particular order, by the way. So number one, you're going to have breakout buyers, people who do breakout buying. So when price breaks out of this area here, don't forget they're looking at it as a zone. When price breaks out of this zone, they're going to look to buy and then take it to the next zone. And the next zone is going to be this high over here. So they're probably going to look to take it to this high or even higher than that. So that's the breakout buyers. They're going to be looking to take price to that level there. Also, guys, there's also going to be people who are looking to sell from here because they believe that this is a strong support and resistance level. You guys can see, look, price bounced off it here. I could extend it all the way to the right and you can probably see more bounces, all of this, multiple bounces in here, bounce here, multiple bounces in here. When price gets to this level now, they're going to be thinking, oh, this is a strong resistance level, I should sell here. And when they're selling and they get stopped out, so let's just say they're selling from this level, price goes up to run out their stop loss. When they're selling from this level, they actually buy their orders back. So there's also going to be sellers here who are willing to buy our order, who are willing to take on our buy. There's breakout buyers and there's also going to be sellers. When they hit their stop loss, they're also going to be buying their position back. There's buy stops at these specific levels. When I'm saying buy stops, I'm referring to liquidity. There's money above this level now. I'm going to take my buys and offload it to these folks. I'm going to offload some to these buyers, and then I'm going to offload the rest to these buyers. So I'm going to take 80% off the trade here, and then I'm going to let 20% ride to get up here. Always be thinking about where are there willing participants who want to take on your buy. Because when you offload some of your positions here, those buys, so you're selling your orders back, you are pairing off with those people who are looking to sell here. Because once their stop loss gets hit, they actually buy their position back. So once we hit their stop loss, we're going to close and sell. They're going to close and buy. We've paired off orders with folks up here. So now you understand that. We look for people who are willing to take on our buy. That's the whole reason behind the take profit algo. Look for willing participants who want to take on your position. And once you get to where they are, you need to make sure you're closing out some of your position or all of it. Another reason we're taking partials up here is because this technically is an up close candle. You know, when price gets up here, there's a tendency for price to turn around. We're not going to let the whole position try and do that. We're going to let 20% of the position do that. So take off the bulk of the trade up here. So now I'm going to show you guys the exact same thing, but on the Euro USD. Look at that. We have a daily imbalance here. This is our daily imbalance. I'm expecting price to turn around soon, even if it's just for a little small retracement. But ultimately, I'm bullish on EURUSD. And don't forget, we're just referring to intraday price action. We're not looking at nothing long term at the moment. So now, in saying that, I'm looking at price Now it's traded into here to turn around and take out the top side. Once again, it's going to be folks who are looking to do 10 to 30 pips again, 30 pips, which roughly brings you right to this high over here. Once again, no reason behind that. There's also going to be people who do some kind of break and retest. So let's go ahead and mark up some areas where I expect there to be some zones. This is another third one right here. But as you guys can see, they're quite close together. So this one looks a bit close, so they might target the next one. So let's just go ahead and look at that one more time. From here to roughly here, 15 pips. Once again, they might look to hold some to the top side. No other explanation apart from buying and sell pressure. It makes no sense because once again, for every single buyer, there must be a seller. So it kind of just defeats that whole premise. Look at this. Opposing liquidities to the top side. We have relative equal highs up here. There's going to be buy stops up here. And there's going to be buy stops above this high here too. So let's go ahead and mark those up too. I'll be looking at EURUSD to turn around and attack the buy stops. Why? Because there's going to be willing participants who want to take on whatever buy that we're in. I have to be patient just to make sure the prices run out these lows. Now we run out these lows. Look, there was relative equal lows here. That's relative equal lows right there. We've now run out that liquidity. What I'm looking at price doing now is I want to see where we can get above this high over here. All right, guys, so I've just jumped into my buy. This is an early buy, but I'm just using this imbalance here that price has created, this little inefficiency here. It put me in up here. It's all good, but my stop loss covers all of this and part of the wick. Now, guys, I'm looking for price to attack the buy side liquidity. All right, guys, so we're back above entry now. You see we're back into profit now. It took about 4 minutes to do so, so we went in drawdown long. And now we want to see where we can get above this high. If we can, then that would be a very good sign. And that will let us know that price is looking to attack the buy side liquidity now. All right, guys, so we have burnt through that high. Now this is the high that we wanted to see burn through. So now this is a down close candle that has just formed. That's a good thing because it means that now we want to see whether EU can come back into the high of it, mitigate, and then go. So here's an update on GBP/USD. Like I said, guys, this is where we entered. You guys know where the money is too. We're very close to taking TP now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alarm up here to make sure that I don't miss out on closing some of the position off. So we are literally close to taking TP at the moment, guys. It's taking all day. I've not been checking the charts or anything. Hence why I set an alarm. Just received the alarm on my phone. All right, so G, what are we looking at now? Once again, like I told you, people are going to be looking at this as some kind of support and resistance level. I'm going to be taking TP right above this high. Now, guys, for EURUSD, like I said, you saw where we entered over here. You know where the money is. I'm going to target this one for partials, and then I'm going to also target this one up here to close off the rest of the trade. So guys, everything stays the same. It's just that it's taking a little bit of time. So let's just see how far we are away from this high. There's only 9 pips away, guys. That's just 9 pips. And once again, we're going to be taking partials above the high, but there's going to be willing participants who want to continue our buy. If they do decide to turn from here, I want to make sure it stops me out in deep profit. All right, family, so it's Monday now. It's the next week. It's Monday. And I want to give you guys an update. You guys can see my executions on the screen. You can see where I entered. You can see I took partial profits above these relative equal highs over here. I moved my stop loss beneath this low. And I wanted to see whether we can let the rest ride to see whether we can take anything even higher. But like I said last week, I did tell you guys that this is an up close candle here. Instead of trying to take a full position to get up here, we're going to take partial profits above these highs and then see what price does. After trading above these highs and trading into this up close candle, you can expect price to turn around, which is exactly what it's doing currently at the moment. So yeah, the rest of it got stopped out here. Overall, good trade. You saw the take profit algo in action. So guys, let's go to EURUSD now. So you can see here, this is my entry. My entry was down here. You can also see that I took partial profits above the very first set of buy stops. And then I did let the rest ride. I wasn't paying attention. And you can see here, look at this, guys. Price went straight to go and tap into the very highest point. Price came and grabbed those buy stops and then it turned around. I didn't take partial profits up here. It did come back and hit my stop profit because I wasn't paying attention at the time. I was busy. I was eating breakfast and do my thing. I wasn't able to take partial profits up here again. I would have taken partial profits, moved my stop loss beneath this low here. But overall, very good trade, guys.